MTGATracker here. Wanted to make a quick video explaining how to do theming in MTGATracker. I'm going to apologize in advance. I've been sick for about a week now, so if I'm sniffly or if my voice is weird, apologies. Anyways, the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and open up MTGATracker, and we're going to go ahead and put it in debug mode. So if you click that settings button like I just did, click on the general tab and turn on debug mode, and then just go ahead and close everything out and start it up again, and we should see the tracker pop up in just a second with that lovely green background. So that's great. So now we are ready to start making a new custom theme. So the next thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and right click on this shortcut here and click that open file location. It should be the second option on your right click menu, and right in here we're going to go make a new folder and call it themes. This is case sensitive, no uppercase letters, just themes. And then over in Sublime or your favorite text editor, we're going to make a new file. We're just going to save it in that themes folder, and I'm going to call this red.css. Now, as I'm sure you can guess, yeah, we're going to be writing a CSS file. Really sorry if you hate writing CSS, but once you've done that, just go ahead and click save, and now we've got a file where we're going to be putting these changes. So the next thing you're going to want to do is right click on whatever element it is that you want to change. In this case, I'm going to try to change the background of the tracker itself. So I'm going to click kind of over here on the background and hit inspect element. This is the Chrome Web Tools Inspector. If you're used to debugging websites in Chrome, this might look pretty familiar to you. So you can see I didn't quite get what I wanted. I do want to go up a few divs, so let's go find this container element here. And what we're looking to change is this style right here on .container framed. And so you can actually just click on this color square right here, and you get a nice color selector. You can pick anything in there. I'm going to go with kind of like a darker maroon red. It looks kind of weird on the screen background, but we're just going to go with it for now. So once you've got that selected, you just kind of click somewhere else to get out of it. And we're going to want to copy this whole style out of here and just stick it in our CSS file over here, right? One thing to note is that this is a style for a framed container, and of course when you're running not in debug mode, your container is not going to be framed. So we actually need a different selector for the normal mode, and you can look at our code for our actual styles.css. I'll make sure there's a link to that in the video, and this can be a pretty good inspiration for when you're trying to figure out what it is that you need to change. But so for example, we also have a container.normal or container-normal that we're going to have to override here as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that, get this out of the way, and paste it in here. And of course we're going to add our new color right here. And let's add an opacity, so we're going to add an A to the end and make it, let's say, 0.8. And so that will make it that same color, just 80% visible, 20% see-through. So that's great, and that was easy, but we do still have these kind of weird gray bars in here, so let's go ahead and try and fix that. So again, we're going to inspect that element. It looks like we didn't quite get it. Let's see if we can get it again. So this time, it looks like we kind of mostly got where we wanted to. But what we actually want here is a deck container link, I'm pretty sure. And sure enough, there it is right there, that background color, and you can see that we're doing an nth child even selector here. So let's go ahead and change that background color to something that makes a little more sense. We want this accent color to stand out but not be jarring. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can make it blue for all I care. This is completely up to you, but I'm going to go with this. This seems, well, maybe I'll go a little bit darker. So right there, that seems pretty nice. You get a little bit of standout that, makes it obvious that the deck list is changing, but it's not so different that it's painful on the eyes. So we're going to be done with that. And again, I'm just going to copy this style right here and go paste it into our file. And so right now we've built up a pretty basic theme for the tracker. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, just hit Control S, and I'm going to go ahead and close the tracker. You'll notice that those changes that we made were not permanent. That was just for debugging to figure out what values we wanted. So if I launch it again, you'll see when I bring it over, it's going to be that boring plain gray again. And that's fine. But what we're going to do next is click the settings button again. And you'll probably notice that you got this big annoying debug thing. You're going to have to click and drag it out. I know, it's kind of annoying, sorry. But once you can see the actual window, just click over here on themes, and you can see that we've got that red.css that we've been working on, and just turn it on, and boom, there you go. You've got your red theme, and it's turned on. And so I believe now if we close the tracker, we start it again, we should hopefully see it come back up with that red theme, and sure enough, there it is. Ta-da! You've just made your first basic theme. So obviously that was a pretty simple example, but you can get even more complicated if you want. For example, some people have complained that this text is not readable, and you know, I can see where they're coming from, so let's just go ahead and make some changes here. So if we inspect this element, this might get a little complicated, but like, let's say that you don't like that this is italicized. Unfortunately, I did use an I tag here, but you can fix it yourself, and we can go into this second selector that we want. This was going to hit any I inside of a card text limit, whatever that is. You don't really need to worry about that. But so then in here we can just apply font style equals normal, and there you go. You can see they're not italicized anymore. And let's just see what they look like if the color is white, for example. Okay, so obviously not very readable, but you could play around with this yourself if you wanted to. If you want to really try to find something that makes it readable or stand out, you know, lots of flexibility here. So anyways, there's not really much more to theming inspector. It's really just CSS. You may find yourself having to look at the code a little bit to try to figure out what kind of selectors you want to apply, and if you're not a wizard at CSS, this might not be as straightforward, but hopefully there are some people out there who can come up with some pretty cool stuff. If you come up with anything really cool, definitely let us know. I really am interested to see what y'all come up with, and maybe we can start shipping some default themes and get some more contributors in the GitHub project. Anything's game. If you come up with a great theme, let us know about it. And that's about it. If you want to stay up to date with MTGATracker news, you can follow us at MTGATracker Devs on Twitter. You can join our Discord, which I'll make sure there's a link to that in the video. You can like us on Facebook. We've got a Facebook page. I'm not as good about updating the Facebook page as I am about tweeting, just full disclosure, but you can like us on Facebook. Thanks for watching. Keep on tracking on.